I was like a hero. I ran in there and I gave him CPR and I yelled something to the effect of, when you're a doctor on TV for 5 years, you'll learn a thing or two. And I waited with him until the medics arrived, but that's not true.
That's hilarious. That timed out perfectly. We didn't even rehearse that voiceover thing we did.
I know.
That was fun.
That was cool.
I enjoyed it. And it's good to see you, and it's the day after Halloween, and what did you go as? Did you dress up?
Well, I did dress up, but as a doctor in blue scrubs because I was at work all day long. But I feel like that counts, right? I mean,
it does.
I didn't trick or treat or ask for candy from anyone, but I was dressed up.
And have you ever dressed your dog up?
No. I have a little dog who you saw, yeah.
God, that's cute.
Thank you.
Do you dress it up?
It's a little too much for a guy to dress up his dog sometimes. You get a little made fun of. But
yeah.
I'm gonna say that yes, I have dressed him up at home.
Yeah. So
My family will call me out on it because there is an occasional sweater that accidentally lands on him.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a dog sweater. You've bought a sweater
Well,
for
I didn't buy the sweater. I wasn't out like shopping for sweaters for him. But, you know, people give me gifts like, you know, dog clothes. So occasionally when it's chilly out, he's little. He needs a little extra. He doesn't have much fur.
Yeah. No, he's cute. Now, will he come out here later if we...
We'll try. He might freak out with all these people here, but
well,
we'll
then
try.
I don't want him to do it. I don't want a dog that's going to be scared.
No, he won't be scared, but he might walk into the audience if that's okay.
Oh, no, that's fine. If they do that... It's cute. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. What kind of dog is it?
I don't really know. He's a little... He's a little mutt. I got him on the street. I was walking down Melrose, and a guy was selling him out of a box with his brothers. Oh. And he was like this big, and I felt so bad for him, so I took him home.
And how long have you had him?
About 2 years.
Oh, and what's his name?
Roscoe P. Coltrane. But we call him Roscoe for short.
Yeah. And
it's hard when you have to call him like Roscoe P. Coltrane. It's easier to just go Roscoe.
Yeah, well, when he's in trouble, I'm sure you call him the full
Roscoe
name.
P. Coltrane.
You get in here right now.
What did you do on the rug?
Look, last time you were here, we found a picture, and this time we found another picture of you. This is, what is this from? This is, you can look in the monitor and tell us what that is.
Well, that's, I went to a theater camp when I was like 12 years old, and that's me as Judas in Godspell.
That's adorable.
It's called Stage Door Manor. I'm wearing leather pants in that picture, so if you want your kids to dress up in leather pants, it's a great place for them to go.
To camp?
Yeah, it's a very special camp.
Yeah. It is.
No, I loved acting as a kid, and this was a great place to get into it, at a very young age.
So you knew early on?
Yeah, I just always loved it. I mean, my father did community theater for fun, and I wasn't very interested in sports as a kid. I loved performing and trying, not always successfully, but trying to make people laugh, you know, so I got into it.
And then when did you start writing? Because last time you were here, we were talking about Garden State.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie Garden State? So good.
Thank you.
So good. So he wrote and directed and starred in it, which is hard to do, one of those things, much less all three and successfully.
Thank you.
And did you start writing a long time ago? Or?
I always wrote stories as a kid, and in school, I didn't really ever write a script until I went to film school. I studied film at Northwestern University, and then when I got out, I wrote my first script, which was Garden State.
Boy, very impressive.
Thank you.
And you're a good guy too. You're a nice person. I read this. What a sweet! You saved a man's life in a bathroom at a restaurant.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't. That's a lie. Oh. My experience as I've become more successful as the tabloids begin to write about you, and usually that's 100% false. This one time, it happened to be a heroic story about me, where I brought a man back to life at a restaurant I've never been to. So just so you know, when you read those things, I've never been to this particular restaurant, but apparently I was like a hero. I ran in there and I gave him CPR, and I yelled something to the effect of, when you're a doctor on TV for 5 years, you'll learn a thing or two. And I waited with him until the medics arrived, but that's not true.
That's hilarious. And
but if you're going to believe anything you read in the tabloids, believe that story.
Believe that one, yeah. But let's say it is true. Okay, so you're in the bathroom
Right.
with the man.
Right.
No, but it's so funny that you haven't even been in the restaurant. That
Can
they
you imagine?
Come up,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I mean, imagine you did do this. You run in and you give the guy CPR. Can you imagine then stepping out into the restaurant and saying, and announcing to the audience in the restaurant, I mean, you're on a TV show for 5 years, you'll learn a thing or two. I mean, if you did it, you'd like hide and call the police, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a they made another one up about me about pumpkins a year ago. It's funny because it's Halloween. Another tabloid said that I had gone to a pumpkin patch and collected pumpkins for all my cast members on Scrubs and filled my car with them. And then I had forgotten about them. They all rotted and ruined my car. That was in a magazine.
It's fascinating. They just sit there in their office and they just come up with all kinds of stuff.
My father was like, what happened to your car? I said, I've never been to a pumpkin patch. I didn't even know pumpkin patches existed. I thought that was only like in the Peanuts cartoon.
That's hilarious. Well, so now you understand that when people say they lie, they really do. There's sometimes there's a tiny bit of truth that kind of...
Right, like I've been to restaurants.
Right. There you go. Find the good in it. Yeah. These people, it is nice when they do something positive like that and make you a hero.
Yes.
At least it's a positive. So,
Yes.
all right, we're going to go to break. I don't want to bring your dog out if it's going to be freaked out.
Well, we could try him at a commercial break. We'll see how he does.
And then we'll come back
If
without...
he freaks out, he will not be here.
Yeah. You'll just see a cardboard cutout of a dog like a cartoon.
We can pantomime that he's here.
Yeah.
You guys can put it in post. You'll just add a dog.
All right. Or not, and just make you look like that. Yes. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. We're back with Zach Braff and Roscoe P. Coltrane. And that's the coolest dog. I've never seen such a mellow dog.
Yeah, if you don't mind, he's going to explore your set a little bit.
I don't mind at all. And he just comes back all the time. That's the great...
Yeah, he stays with a little stretch, downward-facing dog, upward-facing dog.
Yeah.
All right. He usually stays within like 10 feet. Oh, a little scratch. There you go.
Yeah. Cute as can be. All right, let's see a clip from... This looks like a great movie. Chicken Little.
Yeah.
Which even just the billboards make me laugh.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, I'm 30 years old, and I expected to go see like a little kid's movie, and I just cracked up with all my friends. It's really funny.
Did you? That was the first time you've done an animated film, or no?
Yeah, first time I've ever done a voice for a character.
And did you like it?
It's a lot of fun. You know, you get to go into a sound booth and just act like goofy and silly and stupid. You know, usually when you do like a TV show or a movie, in the back of your mind, there's always like, all right, I don't want to look like too much of an idiot. But this was just, you know, you go into a sound booth like in your sweatpants with a cup of coffee and just act as crazy and silly as you want to.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's how I felt doing Dory. You could just be just a child. That's what.
And no one can like look at you. You're like in the private little booth. You know?
Right. Except they videotape you and then.
Then they put it into your characteristics.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I'm like, that's what I look like. But yeah. All right, does Roscoe do any tricks before we go away, or no?
He can sit, but I don't know if it's going to happen for all these people, but I can try. If everyone's very quiet, we could probably try.
Make him sit?
Yeah.
Are you proud of that?
Why? Why?
That's not a trick.
Why?
That's a necessity. If you own a dog, they have to sit.
Well, I mean, I'm very busy, Ellen.
Yeah. All right, let's watch him sit and be very proud of it.
Roscoe, sit. Good work.